What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports, back again with another one. Got some breaking news involving a fight that I'm going to be very interesting to watch, man. This is a true 50-50 fight. We got WBC interim junior middleweight champion Vergil Ortiz Jr., who has a record of 23 wins, 0 losses, 21 KOs. He'll be putting his title on the line versus, I guess now, former IBF #1 contender Erickson Lubin, aka the Hammer. The fight is going to take place October 18th in Los Angeles, California, or Las Vegas, Nevada, aka Sin City. True 50-50 fight. You got the boxer, puncher, and Vergil Ortiz Jr. taking on the athletic boxer, decent puncher in Erickson Lubin. Erickson Lubin has a record of 27 wins, 2 losses, 19 KOs. His 2 losses came on the elite level to Jermell Charlo, who was the champion at the time, and Sebastian Fundora, who wasn't a champion at the time, but is a champion presently. And when he defeated Lubin, that fight was, I believe, eliminated too. So the winner of that fight, which was Fundora, set themselves up to become a titleist, a champion. And Fundora has taken that fight, which I believe was the best win of his career pre-Tim Tszyu, and he was able to catapult that win into a championship opportunity and a championship conquest. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. True 50-50 fight. You got the aggressive, come forward boxer puncher and Vergil Ortiz Jr. taking on the classic boxer. Technically sound, fundamentally sound, great footwork, but it's kind of chinny. He's kind of chinny. He's vulnerable, but has a decent power in his own right. Erickson Lubin, guy out of the Sunshine State of Florida, taking on a guy out of the great state of Texas, my neck of the woods, Vergil Ortiz Jr. Now, I think Vergil Ortiz Jr. going to probably surprise Lubin with his boxing ability. I think Lubin probably think he can kind of beat him technically, keep him on the end of his jab, control range, dominate the mid-range game, hit him with the 1-2, basically hit him with the 1-2 tournament, and basically be able to outmaneuver and outbox Vergil Ortiz Jr. But I think he's going to find that proposition a little bit harder than he anticipated, because Vergil got a good jab and is all right, and he knows how to bring pressure, but he comes in behind an educated jab. He's got great reflexes. He don't just take a lot of shots. Now, he is vulnerable. He does have holes in his defense. Don't get me wrong. Now, he got dropped twice by bullshit. So he does have holes in his defense, but I think that's mainly because he's such an aggressive offensive fighter. So when you're aggressive offensive fighter, you let your hands go, you subject to get countered, you subject to catch your own shots to your dome and to your body when you're that aggressive. So that's one of the things that Vergil Ortiz must get good at, because I think that's what's probably going to end up costing him when he gets to the elite level. He's got to tighten up his defense. He's a very emotional fighter, in my opinion, Vergil Ortiz Jr. When he's hurt, when he gets caught with a shot, he wants to get his get back, you know, once that happens. And sometimes that's good, but sometimes that could be to your demise when you're going against guys that are great sharpshooter, guys that know how to take advantage of a guy that's, when he gets hit with a shot, gets hurt, or gets stung, wants to come right back and land something of significant. A guy can kind of capitalize on that and say, oh, I kind of want a good shot. Now he's going to open up again. I'm going to catch him with another shot. And that second shot could be the shot that changed the whole outcome of the fight. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. It's a good fight, man. It's a good fight, man. It's a true 50-50 fight. Now, if the fight is close, I do believe that Vergil Ortiz will get the decision, because he is a younger fighter. He is a guy that a lot of people say have a bright future in the sport of boxing, a future champion. Lubin, even though he's still kind of young, he started real young. I probably think he's probably in his early 30s or late 20s. Is basically a guy that was once upon a time looked in that same regard as Vergil Ortiz is now looked at as a guy that with a bright future, but that's no longer the case now. He's a guy that's, to me, a lot of people look at in the mold of a Daniel Jacobs, a guy that's a B plus level fighter, but not quite to that A- or A+ level. And when he fights guys of that caliber, comes up short, as we've seen when Jacobs took on Canelo Alvarez, and when Jacobs took on Triple G. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. It's an interesting fight, man. Very, very interesting fight, man. We're going to have a good 3-week span of boxing for the month of October. October 11th, we got Jerome Boots Ennis taking on Lima Beans. He's taking on him, but I got to give Lima a little credit, man. He's coming from Portugal. What great fight that's coming out of Portugal, man. He's got a chance to be one of the famous athletes to come out of Portugal if he's able to pull off this upset, which I don't anticipate him being able to accomplish. But with that being said, the guy's ranked in the top 10 of 2 sanctioning bodies, so this is a good first fight at 154 for Jerome Boots Ennis, despite what his naysayers are saying. So that fight's going to take place October 11th, but that's a fight that has Ennis as a prohibited favorite. And then the next week, you got Vergil Ortiz Jr. versus Erickson Lubin. Now, that's a true 50-50 fight, in my opinion. And then a week later, you got the WBC junior middleweight champion, Sebastian Fundora, a.k.a. the Atari Inferno, taking on Keith, one-time Thorman, former unified welterweight champion. And that fight, Fundora will be a prohibited favorite. So you got 3 good fights. But I think the only fight that you can really look at as a fight that can go either way is the fight involving Vergil Ortiz Jr. versus Erickson Lubin October 18th. Even though those other 2 fights are good fights, and I'll be checking those fights out as well, I would be real shocked if Lima was able to produce an upset over Ennis, and Thurman, who I do give a little bit better chance than Lima. I do think he has a better chance than Lima, but he's still facing an uphill battle, facing the younger, more active, a guy that's going to be letting his hands go more than Keith Thurman will, because Keith Thurman going to have to kind of pot shot and have his moments where he land those shots that really count and stun and hopefully wobble and maybe get out Fundora, because I don't think he's going to be able to outwork and outpunch Fundora over a 12-round affair, but he does have a lot of experience, and I do think he still has decent power, maybe have more power than he had at 147, now that he's gone up to 154, where he don't have to cut as much weight he had when he was in his heyday at 147 pounds. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Let me know your thoughts about this particular matchup. Would you rather have seen Vergil Ortiz take on Xander Zayas, as those 2 guys were in negotiations? They had a contract out, a deal on the table for Xander Zayas to sign. Zayas said he did not want to fight Vergil Ortiz Jr. in Los Angeles or Las Vegas. He wanted the fight to take place in Puerto Rico because he's looking to do a homecoming fight after winning the belt last month. But he don't have a platform for that fight to take place, as his promoter, Top Rank Boxing, don't have a deal with any platform, don't have a deal with any outlet to showcase their fighters as of right now. Now, I did hear earlier today that Top Rank had got a deal done with a small cable company, and they'll be showing their fights on that platform. But that's a far cry from where they were showing their fights here recently on ESPN and previously on HBO. So you go to a cable company, they didn't even name the cable company in the report that I was reading, so that must be a real small cable company. So they're looking to put their fighters on that platform. Hopefully Top Rank will be the reason why that platform becomes more recognizable, becomes bigger, the brand becomes bigger, kind of like when Matchroom Boxing, Eddie Hearn, came here to the U.S. and started putting the fighters they signed on DAZN. Made DAZN, I ain't gonna say a household name, but DAZN was much more recognizable here in the U.S. than they were before Matchroom was showcasing their fighters on that platform. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Maybe we're looking at another zone. Maybe Top Rank will be able to kind of do it. They got to hope that they can do it just as good as what Matchroom did as far as bringing the zone to the U.S. market. They got to hope that they're as successful as Matchroom Boxing was when they was able to do that several years ago. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Follow me on Facebook, Gerard Briscoe. Follow me on TikTok at JB Sports. New media, follow me on Twitch at Briscoe. MA77071. Follow me on my YouTube channels at JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend, 9656, and at JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend, 8000. And like, share, and subscribe to JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend, and I holla.